What is up there, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Now today I'm going to be showing you guys how to replace clutch on my 06 Acura RSX Type S, my baby Jade. Now I'm actually going to be upgrading my clutch from a stock clutch to a competition clutch, stage 1.5 clutch. So the reason why I picked stage 1.5 clutch rather than a stage 2 clutch is that, well, at this point my car is completely stock. Well, not completely stock, but I got spoon and one exhaust intake, and hopefully the B pipe will be coming soon. Well, if you guys don't know what B pipe is spoon mid pipe, I should say. So that might be coming soon. We'll see. But if I'm gonna be keep modifying my car, like high lift cam and headers and all that, then I'm probably gonna upgrade it to either stage 2 or 3 clutch. So we'll see. But today I'm gonna be installing the stage 1.5 clutch on my baby Jade. So other than enough of me talking, let's get the video rolling. So one of the first thing I'm gonna be removing out of my vehicle are battery, intake, the cables, the shifter cables down there, 2 of them, and also these plastic panel where the wheel well goes. So I'm gonna be removing those. Alright, so if you do have the stock air box, you can go ahead and remove that. But in my case, I do have the cold air intake, so I'm going to either use like a pocket screwdriver to loosen one of the bolt down there, and also I already took off the sensor and took off the vacuum hose right here too as well. So far I got the cotter pins out for the cable. It's right there, so I'm gonna just keep removing it. So there are a couple different ways to take the shifter cables out. You can take these 2 pins out, but it is pain in the ass to do. So what I would recommend doing is there's 3 tomo bolts, 1, 2, and 3 right here. So remove all 3 of that, and then the shifter cable could come out. It'll also make the job easier if you take the 12mm bolt right here for the clutch master line. So yeah. Alright, so the next step I'm going to be doing is remove these 2 12mm bolts right here for the clutch master. It is located right underneath of the intake. So I pretty much took all the cable lines off, all the grounds and everything. So the next step is I'm going to be taking the axle nut and taking the subframe bolt down. So yeah, and also taking this ball joint for the lower control arm. So alright, so I'm going to loosen up the axle nut out, and I'm going to be using a 1/7/16, as you guys can see here, with a 3/4 half-inch adapter, and now I'm going to be using a 1200 foot-pound Earthquake XT electric impact gun. So just like that, axle nut is up. Alright, so update on it. One of the way that you can drop the subframe is loosening up this ball joint, but when I was trying to loosen it up, I messed up the stud on that. So that being said, I need to get the new lower control arm ball joint, which I ordered. That's going to be coming in. But anyways guys, I took out 2 bolts, 2 large bolts that's connected from lower control arm to the subframe. So I took those out, and be honest, this way was easier, way easier. I definitely recommend doing this way. Alright, so the same thing on the driver's side, just like that. You guys don't have to take the brake rotors out. The reason why I did it is obviously I messed up the ball joint, so I need to replace the ball joint, so that's why I already took off the brake rotors and everything. So yeah, that video will be coming in soon, don't worry guys. Alright, right now you're looking at the front part of the subframe where the engine mount is at, front of the engine mount, and I took out the 1 bolt that's hanging on right there using a 17mm if I can remember. And for the rear, you got 1, 2, 3 was holding up by a 14 mil bolt. I already took it out. So the next step is the main one. This one right here, all four corner, and these are 17 mil, so I'm gonna be taking that off. And when I take all of them out, the subframe should come down. And right now I'm draining the tranny fluid now, and after that I'm gonna take out both axle out. Axle is out. Nice. Just like that, easy peasy. Axle's out. Alright, so before I take out the transmission completely out from the engine bay, I would like to take this engine mount, the front engine mount out, because the front engine mount is connected right between the transmission and the engine. So I'm gonna take that out, and after I take that out, that'll even have more space to take the transmission out, so that'll be golden. So good thing I took out that mount, because this mount is all torn up. So tomorrow I gotta go to Acura and order the front mount. I already do have the Hasport mount, but the thing is, it doesn't come with the front mount. It only comes from transmission, engine, and the rear. So yeah, I think I'm gonna install that one after I replace the clutch. So who knows? Alright, so on the front of the transmission, I'm gonna take this bolt out. That's a 17 mil, and right after I take that bolt, I'm gonna slide my engine stand over and hook it up on the top. And then on the back here, I'll show you guys, it's kind of hard to do this one hand, but back here there's two bolts. There's one right here and then another one right here. Those two are 17, so take those out. And after that there's gonna be two more 17 holding up on the top here. That's one right there, another one right underneath here, so right there. And I don't think you don't have to take this 17 mil bolt that's back here. That's for the engine mount, so that's chilling. So yee. So I pretty much took out all the bolts that are transmission that is connected to the engine. So I got one more left, that's it. And then I'm gonna start taking off the three engine mount off, 1, 2, 3 back there, using 17 mil again. So pretty much everything is 17 mil right now. Okay, so there was actually one more 17 mil bolt right here. I don't know if you guys can see it right there. And then you do have to take this plate that goes up here because it's blocking the way. And using a 12 mil, I got the plate out. It was a bitch. As you guys can see, my finger is bleeding right now, but it's fine. It's such a tight space, but I got it off. But after you take the bottom 12 mil off, you're gonna take the 10 mil off. That's like a bracket, wiring bracket. You're gonna take that off, 10 mil. That's the bitch part. After you get that off, you can get the 12 mil off on the top. So yeah, next step, time to take the 17 mil bolt out. Now I took out all the transmission bolts out, and it is hooked up to the hoist. And it seems like, yep, I see the gap, so it's starting to separate between that. So sweet. Let's drop it, guys. Alright, so I actually changed the plan. I can't really drop it because of this stud right here is kind of blocking. I can't really put it this way. Oops. But I'm gonna take this bolt out. That's 17 mil, so I'm gonna take that out real quick. So got the transmission out. It looks a little bit dirty. It's actually not that bad, I'll say, Let's check out the clutch real quick here. This is the OEM clutch. Now, that actually looks pretty clean, I gotta say. So, that's actually not bad for 94,000 miles on it. So, alright guys, so as you guys can see right now, this is inside of my transmission right now. This is my throwout bearing. And then I want to remove this fork right here. And then the fork is connected with these pins that are back here. So I want to pinch those pins, take the pins out, and that way I can release the fork out. And after I release the fork out, hopefully I can take the throwout bearing out too as well. So yeah, but there are quite a bit of dust that is built up on there. So yeah, should I clean that first? Maybe. Spline off like that, just like that. Alright, so the next step I'm going to be doing is clean the whole thing using a brake cleaner. You want to get much as, dust, debris, clutch dust off of there as much as possible. So, and especially you want to clean it around the here shaft where the throwout bearing goes. So after you're done with that, you can put the lube on it. So, but yeah, you want to clean the fork too as well, and behind the fork as well. So you definitely want to do that. So yeah. I'm going to be taking off this pressure plate off, and the pressure plate bolts is holding up with 6 pressure plate bolts. So I'm going to remove with the 10 mil, but I'm not going to be using the 6 side 10 mil. I'm going to be using the 12 sided 10 mil. So yeah, fits right on there. So let's take those off. Whew, that is disgusting. Very dirty. So pressure plate is out. Same with the disc. Alright, nice. So as you guys can see, my OEM clutch from the factory here, it is absolutely worn out. It is absolutely gone. But yeah, checking out the pressure plate. Oh man, I'm glad I'm replacing these. Now moving on to the flywheel bolts. You're gonna take 8 flywheel bolts, as you guys can see here, using a 17 12 side socket again. So let's do that. And I'm gonna be using my electric impact gun in order to take it off. So the next step I'm going to be doing is take out the pilot bushing, put the new pilot bushing in, and also replace the rear main seal because while I'm at it. So I'm going to be doing that. Even if it's not leaking, I think this is a really good time to replace the rear main seal. Alright, so right now I'm taking out the pilot bushing out using the tool. And it is coming out very slowly. Ooh, this is nice. You can also use a flathead to take it out. But this is like the way easier job, trust me guys. Alright, as you guys can see, the pilot bushing is on here, so it is off. Sweet! Alright, after that, I'm gonna clean the surface using a brake cleaner. The pilot bushing back in. Just like that right there. want to be flush as possible. Because if it's not flush, I don't go in. Alright, so it is smoothed out. So what I'm gonna do here next is I'm gonna take the 17 socket, because it fits right on there, and tap it gently. Like that, rear main seal's out. Alright, so I got the rear main seal out. This is an old one and this is a new one. So if you compare, I mean, they're obviously the same time, they're the OEM one. But what I'm trying to say here is there's a ring that goes inside of here, and if you mess that up, that's fine, because the ring is supposed to go inside that little silver ring. I don't know if you can see it, but it's supposed to go inside of here. So it comes with it, so don't worry guys. If you thought you messed it up, you're okay. So after you clean the inside out, I'm gonna put the new rear main seal in. Just slide in like that. Alright, so I got the OEM pilot bushing in, and with the clutch alignment tool kit in there, so I'm gonna let me pull this out. Alright, so now it's time to put the flywheel in. I am so excited, oh my goodness. Alright, so when you're installing the pilot bushing in, you don't want to go too deep. I'm just letting you guys that know. Just, you know, tap it in a little bit with the socket and then call it good. So if you go too deep, you cannot put the clutch alignment tool kit in there, and you're gonna have a tough time putting it in there. So just letting you guys that know, just tap. Alright, so next step, I'm gonna brake clean the flywheel out, because as you guys can see here, there's oil on there from the factory, so it doesn't get rusted on there. Alright, after you have done all of that, now it's time to install my new competition clutch lightweight flywheel. Slap it on there, and I got the bolt on here, and I put some red thread Loctite. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited guys. Now, next thing you want to do is torque these flywheel bolts down with crisscross pattern, 90 foot-pounds. I think this is the last one, but I'm gonna check all of them. Alright. So how I did this was I used a 19 mil socket, and I used a jack bar to extend it and hold it in place. So you can pretty much do this all by yourself, but if you have a partner, that's a lot easier, just so you guys know. So lots of you guys are wondering when you guys installing the new clutch in, so which way does it go in? So this side, the side that is sticking out like that, that's gonna be your transmission side, and the side that is not sticking out like flat, that's gonna be your engine side. So if this is your first time doing this, just letting you guys know. With the alignment toolkit, just like that. Alright, and before you install the new pressure plate in, you want to put some brake clean on there and wipe it off, because there's some oil on here. So Now you can put your pressure plate on. There's only one way to go on, so gotta keep figuring it out. Alright, so like I said, there's only one way to go on. Fits right on there. Sweet! Oh my god, this is satisfying right here. Alright, so it is in, and I'm gonna put the bolt back on with the blue thread Loctite on there. Now you want to torque the flywheel bolts down to 19 foot-pound. Alright, so I got my flywheel, disc, and pressure plate in, all that, all torqued down, all good to go. Now the next step is I'm going to work on the housing here. I'm going to put the fork back in, and I'm going to install the new Throwout bearing. And this is the competition clutch Throwout bearing, but the reason why you do not want to use competition clutch Throwout bearing and you want to use the OEM Throwout bearing is that the competition clutch bearing, apparently it fails a lot. So the OEM one is actually better than the competition clutch one. So I'm gonna throw the OEM Throwout bearing in there. Alright, so next step, you want to put this super high temp Urea, is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. Urea grease on the shaft part right along here, and also right along here where the pilot bushing goes in, and also this bowl part for the fork. So yeah, and you also want to put the grease on where the contact point comes in, so here, and also in the back here as well, and flip it around. After I install the transmission back on, I'm going to put some in here too as well. So it is all greased up, as you guys can see on the fork as well, and also on the inside of the Throwout bearing too. It's all greased up. Now it's time to install the fork in first. Let's put the fork in, and just like that, it's in. So yeah, it's all nice and smooth. And just like that, that rubber boot is back in. Let's move it again, make sure it's all good. Yeah, that's good. Wow. So the next step, put the transmission back inside of the engine bay. Ooh, I'm so excited. Soda excited. Oh my goodness, soda. Nice, guys. Look at us. Stage 1.5 clash. Oh my, soda. Nice. One more thing, guys. Before I put the transmission back in, I'm going to take out the alignment kit out. It's getting late right now, but I got my transmission back in, and also the subframe mounted back on. And then the only thing that I'm really waiting on right now is the Body Club Racing ball joint, lower ball joint. So I hope that comes in either tomorrow or the day after. I'm sorry guys, the camera lens is really dirty right now. But other than that guys, that'll do for today's video, how to install clutch on my 06 Acura RSX Type S. I hope this video was helpful. If you do have any questions, please leave me in the comments below, but then I'm only going to check the comments for the first 24 hours. So if I don't reply back, you can hit me up on the Instagram. I'll leave my Instagram account in the link in the description below, so please go check that out. And also go follow me on Instagram while you're doing that. Okay, so the hardest part about installing the clutch was definitely the pilot bushing. I definitely recommend you guys getting this snap-on pilot bushing. So this really helped. I think the part number is A78 USA, it says on here. But yeah, this one is really helpful, so it really works. And also guys, there is more mods coming for my baby Jade. So other than that guys, peace out and stay thirsty my friends.